1992. America was recovering from recession. Beverage giants controlled the market, steadily hiking prices year after year while shrinking their portions. Then, something unimaginable happened. A vibrant, oversized can, adorned with turquoise southwestern designs, appeared nationwide, priced at just 99 cents. Fast forward 3 decades, through 5 presidencies, 3 recessions, and record-breaking inflation, that price has never changed, not even a penny. While every competitor's price tripled, Arizona Iced Tea built a multi-billion-dollar empire through one radical strategy: giving customers more for less and never backing down. Today, we're dissecting the most stunning price strategy in retail history, a strategy so counterintuitive it shouldn't work, yet it transformed the entire beverage landscape. Now let's rewind to understand this beverage phenomenon. Brooklyn, early 90s. The beverage world was changing. Snapple was exploding in popularity, proving customers wanted ready-to-drink alternatives to soda. 2 beer distributors, Don Voltaggio and John Ferralito, were paying close attention. They noticed something the beverage giants missed. The average person was being priced out of premium drinks, paying nearly $2, equivalent to almost $4 today, for trendy bottles half the size of a can of soda. Voltaggio still remembers that scorching summer day in 1992, standing frozen in a Manhattan bodega as he watched person after person reluctantly shell out $2 for tiny premium drinks. Something clicked. What if we created something revolutionary, not just cheaper today, but cheaper forever, a price that becomes a promise? The beverage industry playbook was clear: create artificial scarcity, emphasize exclusivity, and gradually increase prices. Voltaggio and Ferralito decided to do the exact opposite. Their 3-part strategy defied every industry convention. They created an enormous 23-ounce can when the standard packaging was 12. They designed flashy, culturally inspired packaging when minimalism dominated shelves. And most shocking, they locked in at 99 cents when every consultant warned them they'd go bankrupt. Industry veterans were baffled. How could anyone profit selling twice the product at half the price? Marketing principle number 1. Invert industry assumptions. According to beverage historian Thomas Oliver, this approach was revolutionary. Arizona didn't just enter the market, they redefined value. When everyone else asked how much can we charge, Arizona asked how little can we charge while still delivering quality. The can itself became iconic, instantly recognizable from a distance. Bold Native American patterns, vibrant gradient backgrounds, gold embossing suggesting premium quality, and the unmistakable 99-cent badge proudly displayed. Most companies hide their prices. We advertise ours right on the package because we're proud of it. Don Voltaggio in his 2019 Forbes interview. This approach wasn't just contrarian, it was revolutionary. They were betting that volume and loyalty would matter more than margins. Big Beverage operated through complex distribution networks targeting major retailers first. Arizona took a completely different path. They focused on neighborhoods overlooked by giants, places where price sensitivity was high and word of mouth traveled fast. The retail strategy targeted 5 specific channels: independent corner stores where every penny mattered, college campuses where student budgets were tight, communities underserved by major retailers, transportation hubs with high foot traffic, and Sunbelt regions where thirst drove impulse purchases. This grassroots approach created something rare in the beverage world: an emotional connection to a brand based on fairness. Marketing principle number 2. Build from the streets up. Co-founder of Arizona Beverages, Don Voltaggio, explains the brilliance. Arizona didn't chase the high-end customer, they democratized premium beverages, creating what we now call affordable luxury, before that concept even existed. With no significant advertising budget, they let the product speak for itself, one neighborhood at a time. The real test of Arizona's strategy came as inflation marched onwards. Ingredients got more expensive, production costs rose, every economic indicator suggested price increases were inevitable. Marketing principle number 3, adapt internally, not externally. While competitors simply passed these costs on to the consumer, Arizona took a fundamentally different approach. They vertically integrated building their own can manufacturing facilities, they optimized logistics to reduce transportation costs, they negotiated long-term ingredients contracts, and crucially, they accepted slimmer margins to maintain their promise. The contrast is staggering. Since 1992, average beverage prices have gone up 213%. Portion sizes have gone down 16%. However, Arizona's price and size have remained unchanged, despite commodity costs up over 300%. When a New York bodega briefly raised Arizona prices during the 2022 inflation spike, the internet erupted in outrage. The company's response, they sent representatives to ensure the 99-cent price was restored. I'm committed to that 99-cent price. When consumers feel gouged, they lose trust in your brand. Don Voltaggio, Wall Street Journal, 2022. This commitment transformed their price point from a mere number into something much more powerful, a symbol of corporate integrity. But maintaining this iconic price point came with significant internal challenges that the public rarely saw. During commodity price spikes, Arizona's profit margins sometimes shrank to razor-thin levels. When aluminum prices doubled in 2008, the company faced a genuine existential threat. As industry analyst John Sitcher, editor of Beverage Digest, observed, Arizona has faced tremendous pressure over the years. Raw material costs have skyrocketed, and the company has had to make difficult internal sacrifices to maintain that price point. Their competitors couldn't believe they were surviving without price increases, but they found efficiencies elsewhere. The company often delayed expansion plans and postponed equipment upgrades, while competitors secured massive venture capital funding. Arizona remained privately held, sacrificing rapid growth for long-term price stability. We've had to become manufacturing wizards just to keep the price point. There have been times when I've wondered if we're just being stubborn to a fault. Don Voltaggio, Bloomberg Businessweek in 2018. This stubborn commitment even affected their ability to attract talent, with competitors often offering higher compensation packages tied to price increases and margin expansion. Marketing principle number 3, accept internal pain for external gain. Voltaggio remained resolute, believing that short-term financial pain was worth the long-term brand loyalty they were building. By the early 2000s, while Coca-Cola spent billions on celebrity endorsements and Pepsi funded Super Bowl spectacles, Arizona was practically invisible in traditional advertising. The revolutionary insight let the product itself do the marketing through its most distinguishing feature, the price. The 99-cent marking became their logo, their slogan, and their brand promise all in one. When they finally printed it directly on every can, they were essentially saying, this isn't just a price, it's our identity. Marketing principle number 4, transform price into branding. The numbers tell an astonishing story. Traditional advertising spend, minimal. Brand recognition, 98% among 18 to 35-year-olds. Annual sales, $4 billion. Social media mentions, 1.2 million annually. Production capacity, 2 billion cans per year. And total price increases since 1992, 0. Marketing professor Jonah Berger from Wharton Business School explains, what makes Arizona's strategy so effective is their price point has become a cornerstone of their brand identity. When consumers seek consistency in a chaotic market, it creates trust that's nearly impossible to build through advertising alone. Without seeking it, Arizona achieved something far more valuable than market share. They became cultural shorthand for accessibility and fairness. During each inflation spike, Arizona memes flourished online. If Arizona can keep it at 99 cents, why can't ... became a common reframe criticizing everything from healthcare to housing costs. Beyond memes, real consumers have found genuine emotional connections with the brand. Arizona got me through college, 4 years, same price. That consistency meant something when everything else kept getting more expensive, a college grad in 2022. My dad lost his job in 2009. We couldn't afford much, but he'd still buy me in Arizona after school. It was our thing. That 99-cent can literally preserved our dignity during the hardest time. I've watched my grocery bill triple over the years, but that Arizona price never changes. It's like this small act of respect to the customer that nobody else seems to care about anymore. These aren't just customers, they're brand defenders who feel personally invested in Arizona's pricing philosophy. And here's our fifth and final marketing principle: transcend product to become a cultural touchstone. The consistency created remarkable organic moments. In 2008, the Arizona Index appears during the financial crisis, comparing Arizona to other price increases. In 2015, the brand became a reoccurring symbol in music lyrics and videos. In 2018, the social media challenge Arizona Price Check goes viral. In 2020, the pandemic shopping posts celebrate Arizona's unchanged price. And in 2022, major news outlets cover Arizona's refusal to raise prices despite record inflation. Consumer psychologist Dr. Ellen Martinez notes Arizona inadvertently tapped into something profound. Amid economic uncertainty, their unchanging price became a rare constant in consumers' lives. That's not just brand loyalty, it's a form of economic reassurance. This cultural resonance accomplished what billions in advertising couldn't, making Arizona feel less like a corporation and more like a principled friend. So what wisdom can organizations extract from Arizona's extraordinary journey? 5 powerful principles stand out. First, constancy creates connection. Arizona turned consistency into emotional security for consumers. Ask yourself, what one thing could your business keep absolutely consistent to build deeper trust with your customers? Second, volume over margins. Their willingness to accept lower per unit profits created a scale that competitors couldn't match. Consider, are you prioritizing short-term profits over long-term market dominance? What would happen if you accepted lower margins to serve more people? Third, question industry orthodoxy. Every rule in beverage marketing proved optional or counterproductive. Challenge yourself. What unbreakable rule in your industry could you flip on its head to create a competitive advantage? Fourth, operational efficiency before price increases. Arizona solved cost challenges internally rather than burdening customers. Reflect. When costs rise, is your first instinct to raise prices or to find internal efficiency? What processes could you streamline today? Fifth, private ownership enables vision. Without shareholder pressure for quarterly results, Arizona could prioritize long-term loyalty. Think, how do external pressures influence your decision-making? What would you do differently if you could focus purely on long-term customer value? Now, here's the current state of Arizona. Their market position: they're the category leader despite minimal advertising, consumers' trust rating among the highest in the food and beverage industry, price comparisons featured in economics textbooks, innovation expanding while maintaining their core promise, and their legacy: they've changed how consumers evaluate value. The brilliance of Arizona's approach transcends beverages. They recognize that in a world where everything changes, consistency itself becomes remarkable. Everyone said we were crazy. 30 years later, they're still saying we're crazy. Meanwhile, we keep selling billions of cans. Don Voltaggio, Bloomberg interview in 2022. Next time you see that distinctive turquoise can, appreciate that you're witnessing more than a beverage success story. You're seeing a total rejection of conventional business thinking, proof that sometimes the most disruptive strategy isn't charging more, but charging less, and meaning it. Arizona didn't just sell tea, they sold trust in a 23-ounce can. Now, if this deep dive into Arizona's revolutionary strategy resonated with you, make sure to subscribe and hit that like button to catch our upcoming episodes that reveal the philosophical principles behind the brands you interact with every day. Let us know in the comments which brand's marketing story you would like us to decode next on the philosophy of marketing. And remember, conventional wisdom is just that, conventional. True innovation often means doing precisely what experts insist cannot be done.